everybody, Rachel here from Rachthestamper.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this fun card. It actually is, I'm sorry, my dog is chawing on a bone in the background. I hope that's not super loud. It actually is a gift card holder. Oh, that fits in there perfectly. A little bit of popcorn. So you can put a gift card or you can put cash in there, but pretty cute. This actually, I use this for the background before I forget what this is called. This is the striped trim, the iridescent stripe trim. You really wouldn't see it unless you looked for it because it was only like a blip. I don't remember if this was online exclusive or if it was in like something, but it's a really pretty ribbon. But if you look it up, it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of hard to find. So it's 163299. It's really pretty. I believe you get 10, am I right? 10 yards? 10 yards? Yeah, 10 yards. So got a lot of stuff. So we are using, and this is a paper that's going to be going away really soon. So if you maybe have a celebration order that you haven't placed yet, or you wanted to get something for celebration, it only runs through February 28th. So if you spend $60 US, you can pick something for free. I'm going to use the pomegranate paper today, which is really cool. But these also have another flip side. I really like the oranges, and this just big slice is really cool. This would be really neat if you emboss that whole sheet together. It'd be really cool. I think so anyway. And then it has a nice little flip side to it. I already used a lot of the cantaloupe. I think I used all of the kiwi. I should have saved a piece, but we made these for Stamp Club. There are these slices. These could be cucumbers, or you could use it for watermelon. The other side is, which is really fun. There's a lot of different fruit. There's the pineapples, bananas. So we're going to use a pomegranate piece today. And what I decided is, oh, here's the kiwi so you can see what it looks like. The kiwi was really cute. And then the flip side was fun. So what I did is I actually just used a piece of the flip side for here because I felt like it just needed a little piece of DSP just because it needed something to make it a little cute. So you're basically using one piece of 6x6 for this because you're going to use a piece here and then a little piece here, and then the piece from the bottom is what you're going to flip over. So if it goes there, it doesn't really matter which direction it goes. So it's a pretty easy card. Let me just slide all these little scraps out of the way. I decided to use with the pomegranate. I'm using Real Red because it was the closest color. I don't really necessarily think it's 100% match. It's definitely not Cherry Cobbler. It's almost like an in-between color. Maybe it's a color that's coming out that we just don't know about. We can say maybe. And then in here, it's kind of difficult to notice, but there are some really little pieces of Pebbled Path, which is a soon-to-be retiring in color. So I'm actually going to use Pebbled Path for the background piece, which I know it's a little dark, but I think it's kind of, I don't know, I like it because it's complementary to the paper, and I think it'll be pretty with the red. But the other thing you could do if you wanted to either brighten it up or kind of coordinate it in a little bit is if you had paper and say, which I did this, if you cut this too small, you could actually back it on a layer. So you could put a layer of white or the Pebbled Path in the background and then the DSP on top of it. So you'd have 3 layers. So you could do that if you wanted to as well. But let me just put these on the side. We're also using the Stylish Shapes, the 2 largest circles. And those are for the sentiments. And the sentiment is pretty generic, but I'm going to show you something else you could use if you wanted to. So there's a lot of cool stamp sets that are online that you might not have seen. I like this one. It's got a lot of varied stuff. Kindest Expressions is still a current set. Saying Hey is a good one too. Even Hey would be really cute on this because you could put something different on the inside, which I love this one. But we're actually using the Happy Birthday, and that's from the Tune In stamp set. So I'm going to just pull this out. And you could use some of the little stamps on the background if you wanted to, but we're going to just use that. And I'm going to stick with the red, so it'll be mostly red with just a little bit of Pebbled Path. So I'm going to move a couple of things over. I did already score this, so this piece measures 4 1/4 by 11. You're going to score it at half at 5 1/2, and then this score mark here is 1 1/2 inches. So basically you're folding this in as your regular card half, and then this part is going to be your gift card portion. So you can see right here. So you're going to need a piece of DSP for the front, a little piece that's left over for inside, and then a piece here. Then you also need a white panel for the inside, you need white scrap, and then some kind of coordinating color. So our cardstock, I'm just going to trim it out for you. We're going to just hit this with our bone folder. Definitely want to make sure you give this a nice crease. And you want to make sure when you put your adhesive on that you're careful, because you don't want to close the whole flap or else you can't put a gift card in it. So we're going to trim this. Doesn't really necessarily need to be directional, but I'm just going with this direction. Let me move this up. I have my extra piece. So you could make, so just in case you aren't aware, this is one full sheet of cardstock. So it is 8.5 by 11. So if you cut it in the middle at 4 1/4, you'll get 2 hot dogs. If you were to cut it this way, you'll get 2 hamburger style cards. But for this card, you could make 2 out of one full sheet of cardstock. And let me grab my trimmer. So what you're going to do for this card, this is a 6 by 6 piece of DSP. So you're going to need to cut this at 3 3/4 by 4. So to start, what you can do is just trim this down to 4 by 6. So this will be your piece for your inside. And then this is 4 inches, and then you're going to cut this to 3 3/4. Okay, so this will be the piece that goes on the front like that. And since this matches, you're going to put this here. So we're going to trim this. This is 4 inches. You're going to trim this down to 1 1/4. Okay. So you have your 1 1/4 piece. So it kind of is nice because it's continuous. So one long picture. Now, if you don't mind having a little skinny piece, you could just use this for here. But I would say you might need to make it just a little bigger. But it does look nice because it's small enough. But instead, I'm going to actually cut this piece. So I'm going to cut this down to 4. And then I'm going to cut this again to 1 1/4. Oops, hold on. Moved. And so then that one's going to cover this like so. Okay, so you have one piece for the front. You have one piece for the inside, you have this piece, and then we have a piece of white, and I already cut this ahead of time. This measures the same, 3 3/4 by 4, and it's going to sit just like so. Okay, so let me move these pieces over. What we're going to do in the meantime is we'll go ahead and stamp, and then we will die cut, and then we'll put the whole thing together. So I do need one more. Let's see if I can find a little scrap. What do I have here? White. There we go. Just a little scrap piece of white because you need it for this smaller circle here. And then I have the happy birthday, and I'm going to just, sorry, I have to move my light here. Grab my Real Red. I forgot to get that out ahead of time. We're going to use Real Red ink. And you want to make sure anytime you're stamping with a photopolymer stamp that you have something with a cushion. There's a clear stamp mat here, so you could either use that, or if you haven't already, you want to use a foam stamp piercing mat. That you can see it's got holes in it. We used to use this for piercing, but you can also use it with photopolymer stamps, and it just gives them a cushion because they don't have a cushion like a red rubber stamp. So I'm going to just ink this up. And the nice part is you can see that it's really nicely inked. So I'm just going to move it all around my ink pad. And then, again, I'm kind of just eyeballing just to conserve paper. And we'll just stick that right in the middle. And I said this earlier, and I actually forgot because I should have done this sooner. So I did this as a double stamp. So you could also then ink this and stamp it off with a different color. So if you went like with another one, and you just kind of move it over and down a little bit. I did this one with Daffodil Delight and Granny Apple Green. The ones for this other one I actually did with Granny Apple Green and Peach Pie. But just thinking outside the box, just to change it up a little bit and bring something else in, I'm going to just use these little retro things, and I'm going to actually bring in the Pebble Path ink, but I'm going to stamp it off before I put it on there. and then we'll die cut it just to change it up a little bit. But I'm going to keep this out because I might roll it in red ink. So got my pebbled path, and I just need a little scrap of paper. So I'm going to just ink this, stamp off, just to kind of give a little something. Like that before we might as well do one more, that way you can see where you want to do it. So we'll do that, and then we'll die cut. So now what we're going to do is we're going to die cut this, and I'm just going to put a piece of tape, and we're going to die cut this larger piece. I'm just going to trim this off, and we're going to use this piece, hopefully. Now that I looked at it, I was like, hopefully that's big enough. And we're going to run both of these through the Big Shot, and then we will adhere this together. So I have heard rumor that Joann's is unfortunately also going out of business. And we were talking about the fact of maybe Joann's, because they kind of got into the business almost of like being a home decor store, like, what is that, Home Again, or I'm trying to think what the other one's called that we go to, Home Goods. So maybe they kind of got too much into the whole home decor, and it wasn't that they were focusing so much on crafts. Are you a person who did or didn't shop frequently at Joann's? I did shop at Joann's. I will say not terrifically often, but often enough that I bought a lot of stuff there when it was time to buy stuff for like fabric for a particular season. So like Halloween, for example, I would always buy stuff there. And then I would make fabric stuff for Halloween. So I'm a little sad about that. And I'm just curious, is that where anyone shopped for anything? I never really went there for craft supplies because, to be quite honest, I always obviously would buy stuff from Stampin' Up. And then there were other companies that I did support, but I would never have gone to Joann's necessarily to shop. Now, Michael's, on the other hand, is the other place that's near us. We do have one Hobby Lobby, but if being honest, I don't know if all Hobby Lobbies are like this, but it kind of reminds me of like a junk store, the Hobby Lobby that's near us. So I really think it is so disorganized. I have no desire whatsoever to ever go into it. But the Michael's also isn't really something that I feel like draws people to shop there for crafting supplies. Now, I do go to Michael's every year at Halloween because they carry the Lemmix Christmas houses, or Halloween houses, I'm sorry, and Christian loves looking at them, even though we don't always necessarily buy one. But is that something that you shop there for? Are you a online only retailer? I'm going to put some tear and tape just on the sides here to close this. But again, I don't want to seal it because I still want to be able to stick a gift card holder in. So I'm trying really hard to put just a little bit and stick to the side. You could also use liquid glue, but just for the sake of being quick. So I'm just curious, is Joann's going to impact your life with them not being there anymore? I kind of feel like when there was another store that used to just sell material that went out of business. Oh, this has been some time ago near us, but it's been so long that obviously I can't even remember what the name of it was. But they were just a fabric store. And I liked going there, but I never bought anything. So, do you buy your quilting stuff online? I have purchased some things online before, but the one thing about me with, and this is shopping just in general, I like to touch stuff. I like to feel the fabric, to feel, you know, whatever it is that I'm going to get feels like. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, unique in that aspect, but I will miss the fact that they used to always have a lot of really cool decor stuff. We definitely bought a lot of nutcrackers there over the past few years. Oh, I forgot to roll the snake. Hold on, I'm going to try and do that really quickly. Because that's Christian's new thing around Christmas is the nutcrackers. But I don't know. I just wonder if it's that these people are trying to broaden their horizons and then they end up alienating their original customer base, because they just did a redesign and I thought the stores were really cute. They were really cool. I liked the way everything looked in there, but I guess it wasn't enough to save it. I don't know. Makes me sad, all these places going out of business, because you know, people miss the part of being able to you know, go into a store and touch a fabric to see what it feels like, or just the fact of Jack, stop. Just the fact of not being able to go to a mall like you used to be able to do. Stop. And you know, kids today just won't know that same, I guess, pleasure. These are classic matte dots. We have some other really cute ones, but my delivery didn't come in yet. So instead of using gray, since I have gray paper, I'm going to use black. I'm just going to put 3 of these. These are the smaller ones. I'm sure we have something else. Oh my goodness, this dog, I tell you what, he loves to chew stuff. He will completely get himself something out and chew it, and God bless him. But sometimes, whew, you guys have dogs that like to chew. He also goes completely crazy over those Chuck-It balls. Oh, he loves those. He loves playing ball. He'll sit at the top of the step outside and just throw the ball down the steps to himself and chase it. It is kind of hilarious. Except when he throws it and it like ends up somehow into the pool cover muck, which is kind of gross. I'm just using some leftover bits of the foam adhesive sheets that we have, just because they've been sitting there for so long. So I'm just gonna put these on instead of dimensional. So that's what it is. I'm just being thrifty. And then I'm gonna just put just a little bit again of this on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue to kind of stick it in, and then this will also hold it down some. So I'm going to just see if I'm eyeballing. I'm going to go with maybe, I don't know, however much that is, maybe 6 inches. And I will trim this up as I need to. We'll go like this. We'll go like that. Probably should use some other adhesive, but the chewing threw me off. All right, so I'm going to hold on to that for a second while I pull this backing off, and then we'll put this together. So just makes you wonder sometimes about things and things that are no longer, and what's something, I'm just going to trim this up a little here. What's something that you miss that you used to love? What's a store that you remember shopping at as a kid that's just not here any longer, or something that was, oh, this is so cute. It's adorable. Adorable little gift card. This is another place that I'm quite honestly surprised is still in business, is Best Buy. But there were so many different places, and they're just, I don't know. Amazon is putting everybody out of business, I guess. But you still have people that love to shop and buy stuff there. But if we don't support it, how long can it stay in business? Everything online is just, I don't know. The people that were, you know, going to be cutting the fabric at Joann, I think that's the part that bothers me, is that you have people that, you know, probably love doing that job. Or maybe they had a job that was like their retirement job. You know, we got to remember those kind of things when sometimes you're paying it for convenience. You're taking away somebody's little extra fun job that they wanted to do. Didn't mean to end this with a downer, but this is a great card. It's so cute and cheery as opposed to what I was talking about today. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about what I was chatting about today. If you would like to get any of the supplies to make this store, look at me. Once again, here I am talking about, you know, you need to buy stuff, and we don't have a store where you can go in and touch stuff either, but you do have a demonstrator that can help you with stuff. So if you're local and you're looking for somebody to help you make cards, let me know. We do have Stamp Club still in person, which is lots of fun. And if you aren't in Maryland, I'm sure you can look someone up near you. These are lots of fun to get together and make with people. doing stuff like this is really cute. You could add an inside sentiment, but I feel like sometimes when I do put these in, and that's why I've been hesitant, I put them right in the middle, and I write a lot of stuff in my cards, so I've been kind of holding off on those, but I think this is cute. And also, this would be great to send to like a guy. I know people struggle with masculine cards. I seem to have no trouble with those whatsoever, and I'm always making them. It's a great card. Really, really adorable. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would love if you would like, subscribe, follow, and share this with your friends. You can leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on notifications, share it with a friend. Those are 100% free ways to support me and my channel. Thank you so much for watching. You can find all of the details below in the description here. It'll have all the measurements for this, which is also on my blog. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.